Oil Kings are Edmonton's first choice for family entertainment.
And every Sunday with the Edmonton Oil Kings at Rogers Place is a family fun Sunday.
Featuring a full concourse carnival with bouncy castles, face painting, and more.
Plus, a post-game player autograph session after every Edmonton Oil Kings Family Fun Sunday matchup.
The entertainment value is king size.
The best day at Rogers Place starts at $20 a seat at oilkings.ca.
Why pay dealership prices when you can get the same quality for less? Hi, it's Lisa, and here at Ed's Auto Salvage, we've been Alberta's trusted source for used auto parts for nearly 50 years. From engines to mirrors, transmissions to tires, we've got it all at prices guaranteed to keep your wallet happy. Shop local, shop smart. Shop Ed's Auto Salvage in Westlock. Be sure to visit us online at edsautosalvage.com and get your vehicle back on the road for less.
Oh, Canada. Jiffy Lube is here to keep you moving through mornings like these. Full synthetic oil changes, quality Pennzoil products, tire checks, battery tests, and everything else your car needs to get through our winters. Stop by Jiffy Lube for fast, easy, warranty-approved service. No appointment, no hassle. Just dependable service right when you need it. Jiffy Lube, keeping you moving through this.
The Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440. Can you fit sports encyclopedia on a business card?
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
Welcome to the Lowdown. Today's show, Oilers Sharks tonight. Yes to Bobby McMahon and no to a 4-year extension for Jack Roslovic, in my opinion, especially if it has anything to do with any kind of no movement language. Plus, Elks sign a real receiver at real money. That and more straight ahead on the Lowdown. Brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick. Family-owned, community-driven. We're making it easy. Visit wolfgmcbuick.com. We're live on YouTube and Sports 1440 online. iHeartRadio, sports1440.ca, and Radio Player Canada. After the show, it will appear magically on Apple and Spotify podcast. We tweet it out on X as well. And if you want to watch on YouTube, we also send out the link before the show. And I know I retweeted it, so you can catch us that way as well. Our guest today will be Bagged Milk from Oilers Nation. We'll talk about the Oilers, the Elks, and of course the Super Bowl. First, though, it's time for the introductions. If he had a contract clause, there wouldn't be a no movement clause, but there would be one involving more free coffee and moving the bathrooms closer to the studio, plus a daily segment called Raptors Rap that he would host. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Josh Fenwick. Josh Fenwick, everybody.
Bathrooms being closer to here would be huge for the program. Coffee already free though, so let's just make donuts more of a regular occurrence at like 7 o'clock in the morning.
Well, just tell Carius.
Have you met Carius?
Yes, I have, as a matter of fact. He'd more likely to bring you carrots from the garden is what he's like to do.
Tomatoes. Hey.
Oh, I love tomatoes, man. All right, if he had a contract clause, there'd be no movement clause, but there would be one adding a green room where he could go and meditate before the show and perhaps make some wardrobe choices like glasses or a fake nose. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Declan Krueger. Declan Krueger.
Do you think I've built myself into a position where I can start asking to put these things in my contract?
I don't think that's your style. I think you walk in steady talking and asking for things. That's sort of, I think it would work for you because you're people like you naturally. Go for that. Use that.
I think my thing is I'm just so happy to be here. I will take whatever is given to me. A pay cut, no time on air. I kiss Josh's feet. Whatever I got to do, I will do it. The last one was just a little something for us, Josh. Hey, Declan buddy. Here, by the way.
That last one was a little, I don't know, man. All right. lots of rumors about Jack Roslovic talking like 4 years at $4 million. And I said yesterday that if the player can't play top six and isn't a third line center, then I don't think you go long term. And I certainly wouldn't do no movement clauses. Some people push back and say, Roslovic can play top six. But my question for you is this: who is he replacing? Now, on right wing currently, the Edmonton Oilers have Zach Hyman and Kasperi Kapanen. I'm not prepared to say that Roslovic is going to be more effective in the playoff. I'd like to see it. Maybe he is. But I think Kapanen's been pretty darn good. And they have Matt Savoy signed, under control, and he's an emerging player. Next year, he should have more minutes than he does this year. I see a need for maybe Roslovic this year, and if they want to sign him in the offseason to a deal that's a shorter-term deal that has no kind of clause in it that involves a no move, then fill your hat. But to me, this is another one of those contracts the Oilers sign when there's no pressure at all to sign. It's not like anybody can sign Jas Roslovic until July 1, and you have lots of time to figure it out at the end of the year. Don't compromise the future in terms of cap, and especially in terms of what the general manager can do in making trades. And I'm pretty strong on that, and I do like Jack Roslovic as a player. Now, Bobby McMahon has been rumored to be on the market. Toronto Maple Leafs are terrible. Do you know that if they miss the playoffs and the pick is like number 6, it goes to Boston? If it's top 5, Toronto retains, and then the 2027 pick goes to Boston. But they're in a little spot of bother right now because of that trade for Brendan Carlo, everybody. Brendan Carlo. I like McMahon as a rental. He's inexpensive. He's a fast train. He's like 98th percentile, according to NHL Edge and straightaway speed. He's got 17 goals this year. He's got some size. He's not particularly a two-way type, but he can get in the way, and he can do some things. I like him. Good, like Alberta boy from, I think, Vermilion, something like that. I'm okay with the acquisition. I don't think you should sign him right away, and certainly not to anything involving a no-movement clause. But I can see the need for a guy like Bobby McMahon on this roster. JMO, as the kids say. Gentlemen, I know you're keen on getting your names out there, but do you have any opinions on McMahon or Roslovic possibly signing? McMahon coming here from Toronto, Roslovic signing here.
I love McMahon. I saw that fake trade that was floated out, Mangiapane being the centerpiece to make the money work. I like the idea of Mangiapane getting sent out, Bobby McMahon coming back. And quite frank, listen, I'll be honest. I like Jack Roslovic at 4x4. I think that would be a great deal for him. I think a lot of people have also kind of thrown out Trent Frederick's contract and been like, hey, we can't do that now because of what we're paying Trent Frederick. I don't know how fair that is. Obviously, it's a factor, money, like that's part of the game, the salary cap, etc. I like Jack Roslovic's game a lot. I love him as a top 6 winger. I would also like a huge splash in the form of Artemi Panarin. Maybe that's wishful thinking. It probably is, right? Because we're talking about Artemi Panarin. Yeah.
But it would be great. I'm with you on it. It would be great.
And then, with how some of the chemistry works with Drai and what he likes to do with pods and things like that, you wonder if Jack Roslovic still has a spot in the top 6. But I'm all over Jack Roslovic as a player. I really like his game. And yes, if I can get Bobby McMahon and Andrew Mangiapane's the one getting, sign me up. What are we doing?
So you would go 4x4 for Roslovic?
I think I would.
Would you give a no movement clause? Because those are selling like hotcakes in Edmonton, baby.
My goodness, are they ever? No, I wouldn't. Because here's the thing: I would give Connor McDavid a no movement clause. I would give Leon Draisaitl a no movement clause. I would give Nathan McKinnon a no movement clause. I would give Cale Makar a no movement clause, and that's probably the list. So that's where I come out on these no trade, no move clauses. Like once you see a guy like Matthias Janmark, love Matthias Janmark in theory. Once you see a guy like that with a modified no trade clause, you got to kind of scratch your head and say, we got to stop these. So no, I'm not giving Jack Roslovic anything of the like, but that's not the lay of the land. I'm sure it'll come about.
I bet he has got a no movement.
I bet you're right.
Yeah, everyone's going to get a no move clause. I think you want to see a guy like Bobby McMahon here, hometown kid, right? Or hometown kid adjacent, Wainwright. And also he has 17 goals this year. And so that's mighty important. And we've had texts in from people today that, again, I don't watch a lot of Leaf games for the same reason Brandon does. It makes me sad. But that he is also underutilized in the Leafs offense. So I would, yeah, if you can switch Mangiapane into McMahon, even though he is a UFA.
You're going to have to send a second-round pick and something else for sure.
God forbid. What are you trying to...
Why would Toronto trade for Mangiapane? They can trade. Other teams are going to go after McMahon. He's big.
Yeah.
He's 1 point some million. He doesn't cost very much. He got 17 goals.
Lowetide, you said a second. Like, I think we're talking first.
But the Oilers don't have a first until 2027.
Still, though.
You think a first for Bobby McMahon? I wouldn't do that.
But to take on Andrew Mangiapane.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
He's useless.
No, you're right. Like, Mangiapane in 2 seconds maybe gets it done.
He is completely useless, with all respect. He doesn't win puck battles. He doesn't score.
He doesn't work like... This is what happens every year. Stan Bowman signs guys, and then Chris Knobloch doesn't play them. So, like, Jeff Skinner's not having a very good year. But that's not the case for every guy that's brought in here by the Edmonton Oilers. Sometimes they play well here. The Oilers say, okay, or they play poorly here. The Oilers say, okay, well, you know what? We're done with you. You didn't play well. And then they go to another town and they play well. Boston's got a winger now that was on the Oilers last year, and he's playing pretty well when he's healthy. But I think McMahon is a good option for the Oilers. Not a center, but he could play left wing. I'd put him on the third line. Honestly, I'd put him on the third line with Nuge. That's not going to happen. I think Roslovic probably is the third line center, and it would be something along the lines of McMahon with Roslovic and Matt Savoy. That's my guess.
He's on pace for a career year right now, McMahon.
Yeah, and he's not old.
He's 29.
But I mean, you're not signing. God forbid they sign him to 4x4.
Speaking of which, I don't think Roslovic's worth 4x4. I know he's coming back from injury, and it's been a real slog and things for him. But also, this is what we knew about Jack Roslovic when the Oilers got into him.
How much do you guys think he's worth?
Less than that.
And I think a 1-year deal.
2.75.
$4 million with the cap going up is not that like $4 million is
like. But here's the thing: what has he done recently?
But you're paying for just his first 25 games.
Yeah, like he's really been in the ditch, and I like that's his reputation. Like, let all the. I'm not saying bury him. I'm not saying I refuse to give you anything. I'm not saying that. I'm saying let's see how the year plays out. Let's see how the playoffs play out. Because in October, he played 10 games and he had 4 points. November, he played 13 games, had 9 goals and 14 points. December, 5 games, 2 goals. In January, 13 games, 2 goals, no assists. So there's a yo-yo there going on. And so, but I'm not saying bury him. I'm saying let's see what he does in the playoffs. Right?
Fair.
And I think we do have to keep in mind with Mangiapane, not that he's going to be here next year, but sometimes it is the system you're playing in. And I think there is some evidence that Chris Knobloch doesn't play his third and fourth line guys. So if Mangiapane's not on a skill line, he's not going to get a lot of play. And, I mentioned Arvidsson, although I didn't mention his name a minute ago, but he's in Boston now. He's got 12 goals in 42 games, 26 points for the Boston Bruins, having basically a much better year than he did with the Edmonton Oilers. And that does happen. Oilers fans tend to blame the player, especially if it's a free agent coming in. But it's also how you're used. And Chris Knobloch trusts about 6 forwards right now, guys and girls, and that's the way it is. He doesn't trust a lot of guys.
6 might even be generous.
Right. So, I think that as Knobloch's been to 2 Stanley Cup finals, so being critical of him at some level is nuts. But, there are times this year he's been playing the hell out of McDavid, and McDavid's performance has faded during those periods of time as a result of it. If you get McMahon and then he could trust Roslovic and Savoy like a third line, then at least you have a third line you can trust. I like the idea of McMahon. I do. I like the idea of McMahon far more than signing Roslovic before the end of the year. Roslovic's in the same boat as Mangiapane, third line minutes, and look at the talent he's with, sometimes offensive graveyard. Yeah, it's true. When he was playing up before Kapanen got back and they moved things around, he was scoring a lot more because he was with skill. But that's always going to happen. The complementary players on the Oilers who play wing with the top 2 centers are legion. And, Ty Ratty got a big contract. I'm just saying when you sign Roslovic for second line center right wing for next year, you're blocking Savoy, who doesn't make $4 million and is on the upswing. Why did you make the trade if you were going to block Matt Savoy? This is Philip Broberg all over again. Now, we do have to talk about a signing by the Edmonton Elks today. I don't know if he's going to be the all-time best Elks receiver of the 21st century. I would say Jason Tucker is for me. Maybe it's Terry Vaughn for you. I don't know. But Declan, can you tell us a little bit about what's going on with Austin Mack and the Elks?
Yes, Austin Mack signed a 4-year deal to be in Montreal, which is very rare in the CFL. Sorry, my headphones. Can you just give me 1 sec? My headphones are caught under my chair. Give me one second.
This happens. This is especially with the athletic broadcasters. They're moving around so much. There's wheels on the chairs. We're talking. There's stuff going on. Possibly there's a wardrobe malfunction, and then the headphones get caught. Oftentimes, at the end of my day, my cord from my computer and the headphones get mixed up, and then I have to sit in a corner and untangle them for about 11 minutes. That's inside radio, folks.
That was a little bit of live radio for you, and I hate that I had to do that, but I had to get them out of the chair.
No, you can't.
It was like pulling my head to the side. I apologize.
You look like you got a twitch.
No, it was. So here's the thing. I'm writing an article right now for elksnation.ca. Hopefully it'll be up later today. You can go read that there. But this is the thing with the Elks is that they thought Curley was going to be the number one receiver, and he didn't really establish himself as such. He was pretty underwhelming. Then they thought it was maybe going to be Steven, and Steven did play very well, Steven Dunbar, but he also got hurt. And the blunt reality is Steven Dunbar Jr. is probably a number 3 at best on a Grey Cup winning team, maybe a low-end number 2. Keon Julian Graham was a guy who really established a lot of chemistry with Cody Fajardo. But Austin Mack, when he had that 2023 season with Cody in Montreal, he was 4th in receptions, he was 5th in receiving yards, and he had 6 catches for 103 yards and a touchdown in the Grey Cup. Like his last 2 seasons haven't looked great from a stats perspective. He's only played 15 games. Little over 800 yards, but this is a supremely talented guy. And one thing we know about Cody based on this last season with Keon is that he loves chemistry with receivers, and he absolutely had that with Austin Mack. Like, I'd be curious to know what his thought process and how he was consulted during this signing was. Like, Austin Mack, if you're looking at the last 2 seasons, I can understand maybe being like, this guy, like, what's the big deal? But his pop off the line, his shiftiness, his ability to go through a route tree, like, these are all really high-end abilities that he has. He's only about 6'1". He's not going to go like high point Hail Mary balls or just 9 routes in double coverage or anything like that. But he's in and out of routes quick. Like I said, he goes through the whole route tree. Some people might think like, oh, you're a receiver. Duh, of course you can go through the route tree. But some receivers, based on their skill set, are restricted to certain routes in that route tree. Austin Mack can go through a bunch of them. Listen, you have to be a supremely talented guy to be the number 1 overall collegiate recruit in your state and to play college football at Ohio State. Now, that was a long time ago, and college isn't the pro, but he is an unbelievably talented guy, and the Elks need a true number 1 receiver. I believe they found one in Austin Mack.
So does he have the potential? I mentioned Tucker and Vaughn as the best, and I don't know. Others might have a different opinion about it. I'm an old-timey guy, so I like those guys. But does he have the potential to be, and Fajardo knows him. So are we talking about like the best quarterback wideout combination in years here? I'm not talking about Moon to Kelly, but something that we can look forward to when they hit the gridiron here later in the year.
Well, I would say certainly in years, just because it's been such a carousel and it's been so underwhelming for years. Like, you obviously look at some of the, phenomenal wide receivers who have come through here and some of the phenomenal quarterbacks like Ricky Ray, Jason Moss, Mike Riley, Jason Tucker, Fred Stamps, Darius Bowman. Like, are these guys going to reach the height of some of those all-time double E greats? Maybe not. But it's certainly going to be better than what it's been for the last 5 years, and that's what you want as an Elks fan.
You didn't mention Jason Tucker. You don't like Jason Tucker?
I did.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I think I mentioned him, Fred Stamps, and Darius Bowman. Those were the 3 receivers I brought up.
Those are really good ones. Yeah. All right. Sounds good. Okay. Busy day. Declinations at 1:40. What have you got for us today?
Declan, CAA. So, college basketball season. But I honestly, we'll kind of talk about whatever. It's your show. I'll probably make it really quick and back to you. I do want to talk a little Australian Open, just mention a couple things, talk a little college basketball as well. But there are only 4 Grand Slam tennis majors a year. Tennis is so awesome.
It is.
We'll give it a little shine.
Beautiful.
And my mom's been listening more recently.
Oh,
tennis is a sport we always watched together growing up. So
there's
I'd like to
nothing
give it a
wrong with giving mom some reason to listen more.
Absolutely.
All right. I haven't updated Josh's mom on his hair lately. Perhaps we'll do that after the break. On the way, rumors, bagged milk at 1. Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. And stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Centre. Looking for the perfect place to host your next big event? From trade shows to galas, meetings, and concerts, the Edmonton Expo Centre has the space, event expertise, and service to make your next event unforgettable. With over 522,000 square feet of flexible event space, in-house catering, and operational expertise, they bring your biggest vision to life. Learn more at edmontonexpocentre.com today.
You matter. Your mental health matters, and you're braver than you think. Not Alone is an organization focused on creating a space of acceptance and support through tough, meaningful conversation. My name is Tyler Smith, and you are never alone. NotAloneCo.com. It's okay to not be okay.
Do you work for a company that wants to reach people who love sports? Or maybe you're looking to hire people who love sports. Sports 1440 partners with dozens of local businesses, connecting with tens of thousands of Edmonton sports fans every day. On the radio, on the listening apps, on YouTube, and on social media. Contact our sales team today to see what Sports 1440 can do for you. Email Gregor at sports1440.ca to get started.
I'm Rick Showers from No Bull RV. This is the time of year people make their New Year's resolutions. If they're lucky, they'll keep that up till February. So I propose another resolution. This year, resolve to be camp ready. Now, what do I mean by that? At No Bull RV, camp ready means never wondering if your RV will be ready for May long weekend. You know it'll be ready because you made the decision back in the winter. Now.
Is Camp Ready something I can get from No Bull RV?
That's right, Bob. Camp Ready is our 12-month RV maintenance plan. It includes winterization in the fall, startup in the spring, roof assessments every year, and all your scheduled maintenance. So when you want to get to the great outdoors, you already know you're Camp Ready.
How do I get to be Camp Ready, Rick?
We're starting small, Bob. Just 67 Camp Ready plans are available at No Bull right now.
And that's No Bull.
NoBullRV.ca.
Andrew Walker, host of the postgame show on Sports 1440. After every hockey game this season, tune in and chime in as we talk about the game. It's all sponsored by Legacy Heating and Cooling. Don't get left in the cold. Visit legacyheating.ca.
The new double cheesy melt at McDonald's. We're talking 2 juicy, mouth-watering 100% Canadian beef patties, 2 slices of cheesy goodness, with even more melty, cheesy sauce on top. Topped with pickles, then crispy and grilled onions. The way it all comes together, you don't just eat it, you melt into it. The double cheesy melt, only at McDonald's. For a limited time only at participating McDonald's restaurants in Canada.
Here's the Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
For Wolf GMC Buick, check them out at wolfgmcbuick.com. Watching the Aussie Open semifinal. Is the American Pagula playing right now? Is that the daughter of the Pagulas?
So this is a replay. It is the daughter.
Okay.
A really, really good turn. She did end up losing this match to Elena Rybakina. Elena Rybakina is going to face number 1 Arina Sabalenka in the finals. But Pagula, people like to give her grief because she's, the daughter of a billionaire. And I understand she had access to better training and she had access to better, but you don't get to be the number 6 seed in the world without supreme talent. And she had a really, really good tournament. She did drop this match. But yeah, it is her, to answer your question.
Well, your mom's a billionaire and your sister's a genius, and we don't give you a bad time.
Well, no.
All right, time for rumors, brought to you by Great Canadian Solar. We believe you should create your own electricity. Let's build a brighter, sustainable future. GreatCanadianSolar.com. Matthias Ekholm, game time decision. Illness. I mean, it's going around. Ingram will start. San Jose is a spot of bother. They are. They're young and they're good. And they're coming now. They really are. I like the roster. I like the young players. I'm looking forward to seeing them. The way they got the camera in the San Jose arena, I can't watch them. I get vertigo. I swear to God. It's the weirdest spot for a camera. But I'll even watch the vertigo camera to watch Macklin Celebrini, who has 78 points. Is that young man 20 yet? I don't think so. June, he turns 20. Will Smith. Fresh Prince, right?
Mm-hmm.
And a hockey player.
And the catcher for the Dodgers.
And there used to be a linebacker for the Saints named Will Smith.
Well done, boys. That was good chiming and rhyming there. That was excellent. Anyway, they're a good team. They're having a really good year. And, I mean, their goaltending isn't fab, but they're getting there. They truly are. Dylan Holloway had a high ankle sprain and then returned. And then, according to the team, he's back on the injured list. High ankle sprains, man. What's that injury that baseball players have when they swing too hard and they're gone for several months? I can't remember the name of it. Christian Cassis, the first baseman of the Boston Red Sox, had it last year, right in spring training. And it just derails the entire year. These modern injuries like high ankle sprains are really, really deadly. And they can have a major impact. And with Holloway, that's a player that was a big part of their future along with Broberg. They got a good, talented young team. Not happening for them this year, but that's okay. They're going long term. And right now, Dylan Holloway can't stay healthy. And Broberg's having his own. When Broberg was here, I was always worried, about, his awareness of hits and danger, and that happens, right? NHL players are, okay, we're going to exit right now. What do we do? Oh, we got to. All right. Turn off the lights. Yeah. What do you do to the street? I just
See how many people are still in the YouTube.
I would just go straight right now.
I did fire but I'm gonna fire all of them.
Fire a handful, obviously the next one, but then you can probably.
So how long until we can get back on?
We can be back on right now.
Let me copy all these.
All right.
Oh yeah, that's right. They shut down.
Do we mention what happened?
Hey man, it's your show. You can do whatever you want. I would say from when you
Give me like a 1 minute warning, okay?
We're gonna run.
Okay. All right. Perfect. Thanks.
60 years ago, we started selling trucks as Western GMC Buick. Today, we are Wolf GMC Buick. We're still located on the corner of 184th Street and Stony Plain Road with the same ownership for over 2 decades. Our customers have trusted our family-owned, community-driven business. And for that, we are thankful. If you're looking for a truck or SUV, pop in and one of our seasoned professionals will get you a great deal, hassle-free. Come trust our team at Wolf GMC Buick. Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy.
Get ready for an action-packed experience at Rogers Place. The Edmonton Oil Kings are the first choice for family entertainment.
Every home game starts at $20 a seat with extra concession value thanks to Calmont. Kids food combos start at just $7.50.
Sink your teeth into options like hot dogs, popcorn, grilled cheese, pizza, burgers, and more. All Calmont Kids food combos are $10 or less.
Edmonton Oil Kings Hockey. The value is king size.
Don't wait. Great seats start at only $20 at oilkings.ca.
Vinny and Don in Hockey are dedicated to skill development for all hockey players. If you know a student athlete interested in growing as a person and a player, register for a free shadow day. Beginner or experienced, this program develops a student athlete skill in a supportive environment. It's a great opportunity for prospective student athletes entering grades 3 through 12 to see what Vinny and Donnan have to offer. Visit vinnyridge.epsb.ca or donnan.epsb.ca for more info and to sign up.
This is Andrew Walker, host of the postgame show on Sports 1440. After every hockey game this season, tune in and chime in as we talk about the game. It's all sponsored by Legacy Heating and Cooling. Don't get left in the cold. Visit legacyheating.ca.
Legacy Heating and Cooling offers no payments and no interest for 1 year on your new furnace. So, when you wake up to no heat,
call Legacy. Call Legacy.
If you need it immediately with no overtime rates. If you need it immediately and want to combo it with AC.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
No payments and no interest for 1 year on your new furnace. It could only be Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Diablo Boots sells only Canadian-made work and biker boots made by Canada West. No American or boots made in China, so no tariffs. All of Diablo's boots have replaceable soles and heels for longer life. Sizes 6 to 14 Triple E. Buy quality, buy Canadian. And support Canada West and Diablo, the two best names in the boot business. So save on boots by Save On Foods. That's Diablo Boots, 3340 Gateway Boulevard on the east side of Save On Foods. Buy Canadian. They're terrific.
Excavators, loaders, lifts, compaction equipment, and more. Find the XCMG construction equipment you need. Available for rental or sale at Japa Machinery Group. Japa, helping build Alberta from the ground up for 50 years. Visit japamachinery.com.
You matter. Your mental health matters, and you're braver than you think. Not Alone is an organization focused on creating a space of acceptance and support through tough, meaningful conversation. My name is Tyler Smith, and you are never alone. NotAloneCo.com. It's okay to not be okay.
Hey, Edmonton, did you know a local Play Alberta winner scored over $500,000 on Mega Jackpots Ocean Bells? Think about the season tickets you could lock down with that kind of cash. From major casino winners every hour to jackpots worth millions and hundreds of popular games to money that stays in the province, there's never been a better time to sign up for Play Alberta. Download the app today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery all in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. When you gamble, use your game sense.
Do you work for a company that wants to reach people who love sports? Or maybe you're looking to hire people who love sports. Sports 1440 partners with dozens of local businesses, connecting with tens of thousands of Edmonton sports fans every day. On the radio, on the listening apps, on YouTube, and on social media. Contact our sales team today to see what Sports 1440 can do for you. Email Gregor at sports1440.ca to get started.
The Brick's Friends and Family Sale is back. And for 4 days, we're extending our VIP offers to everyone. Get up to 30% off sofas, sectionals, bedroom, and dining furniture. Up to 40% off select mattresses. Plus, receive a 5% instant credit towards sleep accessories when you buy a mattress $7.99 or more. And buy more, save more. Get up to $1,000 off select major appliances. Some exclusions apply. See in-store for details. The Brick, saving you more.
Winter snow and ice are nothing to fear when the Lawnmower Hospital's in your corner. Keep pathways clear of snow with the Echo PB770T backpack blower. Or go even bigger with the huge PB9010T. Right now, buy select commercial walk-behind BCS sweepers and get the Echo PB9010T for free. The Lawnmower Hospital has pet-safe, plant-safe ice melt, too. Visit lawnmowerhospital.com.
The Lawnmower Hospital.
I'm Rick Showers from No Bull RV. This is the time of year people make their New Year's resolutions. If they're lucky, they'll keep that up till February. So I propose another resolution. This year, resolve to be camp ready. Now, what do I mean by that? At No Bull RV, camp ready means never wondering if your RV will be ready for May long weekend. You know it'll be ready because you made the decision back in the winter. You know, now.
Is Camp Ready something I can get from Noble RV?
That's right, Bob. Camp Ready is our 12-month RV maintenance plan. It includes winterization in the fall, startup in the spring, roof assessments every year, and all your scheduled maintenance. So when you want to get to the great outdoors, you already know you're Camp Ready.
How do I get to be Camp Ready, Rick?
We're starting small, Bob. Just 67 Camp Ready plans are available at No Bull right now.
And that's No Bull.
NobleRV.ca.
Here's the lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
The Lowdown on Sports 1440, brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick, family owned, community driven. We're making it easy. Visit wolfgmcbuick.com. As you may know, we were off for a while and we are now back. There was a incident here at our location, and I'm no doubt you'll be reading and hearing about it. All is well. We're all fine. We're back and we're delighted to be here. Just so if relatives and friends are listening, Josh, can you say hi to the folks? Make sure that we, know you're
hi,
there.
everybody. Don't worry. I'm okay.
And Declan, probably the most important because of his good looks and youth and his future in broadcasting. You're fine.
We're all the most important, but I did appreciate that. Yes, we're all good. We're back on air. Listen, I want to apologize to the listeners. Like, we just had to play pretty much a 5-minute break. I know a lot of you guys love Lowetide dearly. You're only going to get them for about half an hour. So I do apologize, out of our control. But yes, we are back now.
Well, and here's the thing, that we have the best listeners ever. And
that's facts.
So they hang in, and we do appreciate them. Just so you know, we're completely fine. A little bit unusual for sure, but we can't lose sight of the fact that the Edmonton Oilers have a chance to win 3 in a row tonight. I mean, that's the key, right? Like, that's
perfect segue.
That's the big news today. And I know Cam's doing a survey on it. You want to vote on that? Gregor will have more at 2:00 today. Now, we obviously we were going to talk to Bagged Milk. We'll have a Bagged Milk on either next Thursday or tomorrow or whenever. But the idea is that we are a sports radio station. And last I heard, Matthias Ekholm was a game time decision. And it looked like Connor Ingram was going to be the starting goaltender. We also had talked about Bobby McMahon possibly being acquired, and the idea that a Jack Roslovic contract would be, at least possible. 4 times 4 has been mentioned. I'm on record as saying I would not do that. I especially would not do that with any kind of no movement clause. And we did talk about Dylan Holloway with a high ankle sprain. And I think that's all we got to. So we have the world's our oyster right now, gentlemen. Anything from the world of football that you'd like to talk about, or basketball, anything that we should get to today, somebody tuning in to this show that we haven't told them about, that we want to be the chronicle of sports today. We also had a big signing in the CFL, obviously. The Elks signing Austin Mack 2 years and good money. But overall, what have we missed when we were away?
Well, like in terms of the last hour or so?
No, just like when we come in, we would give the update and getting into, and we talked about the possible trade of, with Toronto and the idea of 4x4 for Roslovic. And then we talked about Dylan Holloway. Then we talked about the Elks signing. What have we missed so far that we would have gotten to if we hadn't been around?
I think we were very lucky in that we did have that first 20 minutes or so where we were able to cover a lot. So there wasn't crazy news. I guess the one thing I would say, if you maybe want to talk about topical sporting news, is the Giannis sweepstakes. And according to reports, the T-Wolves have now emerged as a favorite. Or as a suitor. Excuse, not a favorite, as a suitor.
I would like that because the T-Wolves haven't won, right? Have they ever won a championship?
No.
Yeah. I always like teams that have never won to go ahead and win. Except like for the Canucks. Because in this room, if I start saying nice things about Vancouver, it doesn't go well for me. And not even from the text line. These jokers and Donovan are major league down on Vancouver. Noah Phil, by the way, cleared waivers and has been reassigned. I hope he makes it back to the NHL. Wonderful story. Great story. And, he did played in the National Hockey League. You'd never take that away from him. And, he has some ability. Big right-handed center can take face-offs and do a little penalty killing. He didn't get a chance here, but he did a lot of penalty killing when he was in Bakersfield with the Condors, who, by the way, lost last night in overtime. Their goaltending has been fantastic with Matt Thompson and Connor Unger. They lost 2-1 in overtime, but they were without almost all of their regular defensemen. Boeke was hurt. They had at least 2 or 3, I think 3, maybe even 4 AHL contracts playing. It was not an easy night for the Bakersfield Condors, but they made it through to overtime, and good on them. We've sort of been kind of going back and forth on possible, hirings for head coaches in the National Football League. We actually have a little bit of player news. Josh Allen undergoes procedure on foot. The 5th metatarsal had been broken, and we all know where that is. Any thoughts on this, either of you? Josh Allen, who is your personal favorite. You have posters on your walls in your bedrooms. Josh Allen is a hero to you. What do you think about this?
Sucks, but I'm sure he'll be back and just as strong as ever.
And he'll be able to lose in a playoff game again next year.
Yes, that is probably what will be happening.
All right. I feel as though I'm mocking you and Declan's not responding. Are you busy?
Yes, sorry. I was texting my mom back finally.
Okay. No, moms are important today.
Of course. Oh, my goodness. Of course. She had texted and she was like, hey, are you guys not on the air today? And I just obviously texted her back, let her know. Yeah, listen, Josh, I love you, man. You got to get it done. Like, I feel the same way about Connor. Got to get it done. McDavid.
Oh, I was worried about Connor there for a second. Well, here's the thing, though, and like, you tell me if you agree. I believe most Edmonton Oilers fans believe that management and coaching have let McDavid down. Do you agree with that, or do you think it's McDavid's job that no matter what the team is, he needs to get them to the championship level?
No, I think they've let him down to a degree.
Okay.
But I also think, respectfully to everyone else, when it's all said and done, they won't talk about Evan Bouchard not having a ring.
They
fair. Won't talk about, you know what I mean? Like, I won't go down the list of names. So that's what I would say as well.
No, when you frame it, the issue that way, I'm in full agreement. That was a really good point by you. Later in the day, I'll take credit for it. But right now, I have to acknowledge that was a really good point by you. Yeah, there's a bazillion people asking if we're okay. Yes, we are. Don't worry about it. We're fine. If you want to text us at 833-401-1440 with questions about the game tonight, we're back on the air and we're rolling, and we'll hopefully get things all straightened away here by the time Jason Krueger arrives and is ready to hit the airwaves at 2:00 this afternoon. One of the things that I wonder about for tonight's game for the Edmonton Oilers is just how good San Jose is. Now, we know what their record is, and we know they've got jaw-dropping young talent. But the Oilers are a good team, and they're playing like this month isn't as great as December was, but they're playing well over the last, say 25 games or so. And so when San Jose comes to town tonight, they've got 57 points in 51 games. The Oilers have 62 and 54. So in terms of points percentage, the Oilers are at 574 and in second place in the Pacific. And San Jose is holding on to the last wild card spot, actually technically tied with LA at 559. So let me ask both of you, what are your expectations of tonight? Do you feel like do you think the Edmonton Oilers are going to roll over San Jose, or do you think San Jose is going to hang in there and possibly win this game?
Josh here.
Good shout, Josh. Good shout.
Wow. I think the Sharks are going to bring the heat. Honestly, I was talking about it earlier this morning before we even got on air. When the Oilers this season have had the chance to win 3 in a row, I feel like every time I've watched, it is the worst hockey they have ever played. There's something, it's like there's some sort of mental block, which, I mean, they're at home now, so maybe they'll roll over them and get it done. But the Sharks are good. Macklin Celebrini is
very
good. He's so good. And he's going to be going up against the likes of Connor. But I don't know. I think this is going to be a lot closer than people are going to want it to be. Like the Ducks game was a lot closer than people wanted it to be. Two empty netters really make it seem close. But yeah, I don't know. I'm sort of in on the Sharks really bringing the heat and winning.
Do you have any thoughts, Declan, before I chime in?
Yeah, it's funny. Speck had kind of mentioned they used to beat up Anaheim and San Jose for fun. And now all of a sudden, these are kind of some young teams with a little bit of pop there. And San Jose, what is it? They're only, I don't know how many points they are back off the top of my head, but I think they have a few games in hand as well. Mm-hmm. And they're like a feisty, fun, fiery bunch. And they got a guy in Macklin who is making a push for the Hart Trophy, depending on how they finish in the regular season and what his point total looks like. It's going to be, I shouldn't say expect, but if I had to pick, I would say the Oilers win tonight. And, they obviously get that win streak. But San Jose is not just some pushover rolling to town, beat them 8-1 like they were, or like they have been.
Yeah, no, they've done well. 2021, they draft William Eklund, and then the Will Smith that comes along in 2023 and 2024. Celebrini, Sam Dickinson, who's I think still a teenager. He's going to do some things, and Cherniskov were all drafted that year, and Michael Misa this past year, 2025, has already played NHL games. So they're going in the right direction, and they're doing it. They're drafting well, and they're drafting 10 kids a year, which is what the Oilers did in 2010 and 11, and then they kind of got away from it a little bit. But I think they're doing it right. I think they're doing things properly, and hopefully, hopefully the Edmonton Oilers can win tonight. But I'd really like to see this San Jose team, and I love San Jose when they're really, really good, because then the late game is interesting. Right now, I don't think the Kings aren't a terribly interesting team. They should be, but the young players aren't emerging, and the old players don't look like they used to. And Anaheim's good, but they're I just don't think they've got this. The San Jose rebuild has a chance to be really, really good, like something special. Do we know who's starting a goal tonight? Last I heard, and we'll get a confirmation from Jason, but it was Connor Ingram, and that Matthias Ekholm was a game time decision. So that's where we are with that. And obviously information coming in, and we're paying a little bit of catch up because of the unusual events of the day. What's coming up for you, sir? When we take a break here, what's coming up on declinations?
Yeah, so I don't, I feel kind of bad about doing declinations today because we missed so much of the show. So it'll be a very, very condensed version. We'll read the liner. I just want to give, a little quick spiel about the Australian Open.
Okay.
Give it a little love, but I think we're going to continue talking San Jose, talk the Oilers tonight. Like, I don't want to make it a 15-minute segment on my thing when we missed so much of the show.
All right. That's all straight ahead. Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube. Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 for Wolf GMC Buick 140. And it's Declinations time, presented by Elks Nation. Check out the new website, elksnation.ca, articles, podcasts, and more, breaking down the green and gold, either later today or it's already up. I don't know. He's amazing. Declan's going to have something on Elks signing Austin Mack for 2 years and good money on elksnation.ca, the most in-depth double E football coverage online, elksnation.ca. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's Declinations, and we're talking Declan CAA.
Yeah. And thank you for the plug on the article.
No
It should be up by 2. I think I do. I really love writing it. I think go give it a read if you'd like. I think it's even if you don't want to, go give it a read anyway. I want to talk about this. I want to just really quickly touch on the Australian Open because we don't cover a lot of tennis, but there are only 4 slams a year. And Novak Djokovic is the best tennis player ever. But he is in such a tough situation because he sits at 24 Grand Slams, which is the most. It's the most ever. He's the best tennis player ever. But that 25th one has eluded him. And now there are these 2 guys, Carlos Alcaraz and Jannik Sinner, who have just kind of taken the tennis world by storm. And we expect them to have a Rafa, Roger, Novak type rivalry for the next 12, 13, 15 years. So Novak, if he is to win a 25th major, you would presume it's going to be on hard court, like the Aussie Open. That's the best court for him. I think he's won his most majors actually definitely has. He's won his most majors at the Australian Open. He's great on that surface, but he's just up against it with these young, tough, really talented kids. It'd be so cool to see him get it. He plays Jannik Sinner in the semifinal, technically tonight at 1:30 in the morning, our time. And then the women's singles final, Aryna Sabalenka, definitely the best women's tennis player in the game today. She's taken on the 5th seed, Elena Rybakina. You have a Belarusian in Sabalenka and a Kazakh in Rybakina. 2 phenomenal tennis players, just all world talent. Tennis, it's so hard, it's so fun. If you have, if you're up late, you're fighting insomnia, check out the Australian Open because tennis is such an amazing sport.
It truly is. We haven't really talked about this, or if we have, it's been a while. Where does he rank all time for you? In terms of the greatest tennis players, male side?
Novak?
Yeah.
Oh, number 1 going away. And I it took me a long time to maybe even admit that to myself because my family, we used to, when I was a kid, we would me and my mom, we would get together with my grandparents and we would, watch Roger Federer play. And it was Roger. And I don't think Novak reaches the heights he reaches in terms of popularity and stuff without Roger kind of setting the foundation for what Roger did for tennis was. It's kind of like what Jordan did for the NBA, or maybe what Bird Magic did for the NBA. Roger laid such a foundation, but there's no question Novak's the best. He's won the most majors. He's won the most, everything that you can quantify being the best as, Novak has done.
The Federer passing shot is still Copperfield in Magic, right? It just amazing. Even to just watch a highlight of it, you're like, oh my God, he did it again.
Kind of a sentiment is Roger played the game the most beautifully, but Novak was the most destructive.
And Federer's logo is gorgeous.
And he was just such a cool, suave guy that made tennis kind of cool. And then Rafa, I think to a degree, blended both of them. And he was obviously unbelievably successful as well, especially on clay. But yeah, no question, Novak's the GOAT.
Every generation seems to, when I got into not that I could ever play very well, but when I started watching a lot of tennis, it was Bjorn Borg, John McEnroe, Jimmy Connors, and then Chris Everett, Martina Navratilova on the women's side. And for me, Serena is the greatest female player ever. And I'm on the Roger side. But having said that, you say that, that he's better than Roger, then I would have to, probably agree with you. But
I loved Roger, man.
Roger
I loved
so good,
Roger.
Man. Yeah. And he's and a gentleman too.
For sure.
I think a lot of the things that you like to see in a sports person, he was, and probably still is an individual. All right, keep going.
No, I think, I don't want to, we lost so much time. I know people want to hear you. I know people want to talk oil, so I don't want to belabor the point too much, but check out the tennis.
Okay. And read your article on Elks Nation.
Should be up at 2.
All right. Lance says, Lowetide, yesterday, Derek Ryan said on Bob's show, the Oilers' problem is they don't give their bottom 6 enough time. and rolls over like shifts. Do you agree, or is that a nothing burger? Well, here's what I will say. I've observed the Oilers for a long, long time, and this, absolutely is an issue at times where a manager will bring in players and the coach is not completely convinced of them. I'll use an example outside of Stan Bowman and Chris Knobloch in Jason Chimera. Every year, Kevin Lowe said Chimera will make the team. There's nothing for him to learn in the AHL, and every year, almost, Craig McTavish would send him back for at least 2 years, maybe 3. Chimera finally made the NHL, and then they traded him, and he came back here every time to play his best games against Edmonton. But that is, I think it's like a choice. The coach believes what he needs to have on each line, and if the individual can't provide it, then that's an issue. So I don't want to make this into an anti-Chris Knobloch situation. He's been to 2 Stanley Cup finals. You have to respect that. What I will say is that last year I felt, and this year I definitely feel, like the Oilers haven't been able, they've got the top 2 lines sorted out. And the 4th line you can scrap for parts. You can. You don't want to, but you can if it's not going. But you need that 3rd line. The easy fix is to put Ryan Nugent-Hopkins on the 3rd line. They don't want to do that. They want to play him with Connor McDavid, and that's the coach's prerogative. The coach is the one who's going to get fired, so you might as well let him run the lineup that he wants to. Now, I don't think they have the right mix here. They tried Ike Howard. He's not ready. I like Roslovic at center. I like Savoy on right wing, and that's why McMahon might be a good left winger because he's a bigger guy. But Mangiapane isn't the right guy, and, in fairness to Chris Knobloch, he's tried him on the skill line. He's tried him on a depth line. It hasn't worked. He doesn't seem to be a good fit for the team. And it can happen over time, too. Curtis Lazar is a much bigger part of this team than he was earlier in the year. Now he's hurt, and they also had Noah Philp. So it's like an organic thing. It's constantly moving and growing. I would say that Derek Ryan's point, as you laid out here, is probably germane and probably correct. But instead of framing it as they're just not finding, they're not giving this guys enough time, I would frame it as in they're trying to get a 3rd line they can trust, and whatever trust looks like, they aren't there yet. I hope that helps. I just don't want to be a giant negative about Chris Knobloch because that's not really fair. He doesn't have, he doesn't go out and sign the players in July. Very important that those guys get on the same page. 2 years in a row, it doesn't necessarily happen, but hopefully they're, as time goes on, it's a new group, right? The coaching staff and the general manager, and they'll find their way, hopefully. Read all the articles on Elk Station, says Brian. Does Brian write for the...
He absolutely does.
Oh, hey, Brian. We should get Brian on.
We absolutely should.
Somebody who knows something about the Elks. It's funnier in my head, Novak is not the GOAT. He won all his majors after Roger and Rafa were well beyond their prime. If he had to play his entire career against them when they were at their best, he wouldn't have as many majors as he has. Well, now that's an argument for Declan.
Well, here, let me tell you this. Novak won 11 slams between 2011 and 2016. During that time, Rafa was between 25 and 30, and Roger was between 29 and 34. Now, you can make the argument at the tail end there, Roger was a little bit older. But 25 and 30 for Rafa, like that's an athletic prime if ever there was one, even though maybe you peak in tennis a little bit earlier. And Roger, obviously, 29 and 34, a little bit older, but like still, like Novak can't help when he was born. Also, in that time, when Novak won those 11 slams, Rafa won, he won 4. He won 5, excuse me. 4 of which were the French Open. Novak won 11, just keep that in mind. Roger, he won 1. So
is there anybody?
I don't know what we're doing here.
Lendl was always great on clay. Who's the best clay player?
Oh, Rafa by a million miles.
Right. The remaining memory of Rafa is he had taken some painkillers after an event, and then he was talking to the media, and he slid off his chair. Do you remember that?
No, but it sounds like something that he would do.
In baseball, I don't know why he calls himself this, but this is because he wants to be called this. Dickie Lovelady has been claimed off waivers by the Nationals.
What a name.
The world is a strange place when Richard Lovelady would rather be known that way. I mean, I felt like if the bottom six actually played better, they'd get more time. Plus, every season the team starts behind the 8 ball, and they need to start getting wins and points. McDavid and Draisaitl will give you the best chance to accomplish that from Lance. All true, but you don't want to burn them out. Earlier in the year, I wrote an article at The Athletic, and it looked at McDavid's time, and then when they were playing him way too much, in the following couple of weeks, his production fell off. They were playing him too much, and then they backed off, and he got on a hot streak, and he's gone completely, McDavid since. So supernova. So I think that there's a fine line, and understand that Chris Knobloch's finding it too. Like, this isn't like there's not a book of how to run a team with 2 superstars at center and a bunch of really good players everywhere else. So they're trying to find the right mix. It's like Josh's mixtapes, which he still makes, by the way. You always want to have like fast songs and then slow songs, and then maybe end of the evening songs where the close dancing happens. Right, Josh? Yeah. Big Luke Bryan fan. Young, hungry Sharks win. Frederick will do the usual nothing. Bouchard gets points. Connor Ingram, with Connor not on his own. Draisaitl line inconsistent 5-on-5 without Connor. Results prove that. Well, Nick has summed up the game. I don't know whether I'll even watch now. It seems like he's already told us what's going to happen. Well, it's 1:51. Oilers play the Sharks tonight. What time is the pregame?
6 o'clock. 6 o'clock.
And then obviously we'll have the post. I'm looking forward to seeing these San Jose Sharks, whatever they are. And they're the old Oakland Seals, Did you know that?
Probably.
The Gund family. The little soft, plushy bears and such?
No.
Gund. The Gund family owned the Oakland Seals, and they moved them to Cleveland, and they became the Barons. And then in about 1978, the Gund family handed the entire franchise back to the National Hockey League. So they went from what would have been 22 teams after WHA expansion to 21. And then years later, what the Gund family did was they said, we're going to give this back at some point in time when the Bay Area has enough population, then we would like to have an expansion team. So they did come back to the NHL, the Gund family, and the San Jose Sharks were formed and born. That's how it worked. I know it was a short show, but we should always give information when available. And when I said short, I didn't mean, in terms of height. I meant in terms of length. Okay. Jason Gregor is on the way. Thanks so much for tuning into the Lowdown. Please enjoy your day.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Brought to you by Sean Cunningham of Remax Real Estate. Get the home team advantage for your next move in the Edmonton area. If you're thinking about buying or selling a home, call or text Sean directly. 780-265-0165. That's 780-265-0165. Edmonton Oilers, of course, in action tonight, 7 p.m. puck drop as they will play host to the San Jose Sharks. Connor Ingram, the presumed starter. NHL action getting going at 5, filling at Boston, LA, and Buffalo, Colorado, and Montreal, Winnipeg, and Tampa, and Nashville, and New Jersey. Some of the games at 5 in the NBA. That will get going at 5 o'clock as well. Sacramento and Philadelphia, as well as Milwaukee and Washington. The late game will see the Oklahoma City Thunder in Minnesota to take on the Timberwolves. Edmonton Elks have signed former Montreal Alouette wide receiver Austin Mack. He had a career best year with 78 catches and 1,154 yards with Cody Fajardo in 2023. A condensed show. That's going to do it for us. On behalf of Josh Fenwick and Lowetide, I'm Declan Krueger. Up next, Jason Gregor Show with Connor Howley.